Hi, welcome back to our weekly series, Frequently Asked Fridays, where we here at Martin IP Law Group answer your questions about intellectual property and related matters. This week, we're going to talk about how in the world did Ohio State trademark "the"? And does that stop everybody else from using that word in their vocabulary? Do we need to remove it from use in everyday life? And the answer to that question is clearly no. So from a trademark perspective, "the" is now being used by Ohio State for specific products or services, and that's how trademarks work. So just getting a trademark granted does not give you the exclusive right to use that word in every setting. It's very specific to the product or service that it's listed and registered for. So the same word can be used for multiple different products as long as there's not a likelihood of confusion between the two products. In Ohio State's case, actually the word they registered it 2 days ago, and part of the problem, or one of the things they ran across in trying to get that, was fashion designer Marc Jacobs also applied for a trademark for clothing. And Ohio State got the mark granted for shirts, hats, clothing, t-shirts, things of that nature. Marc Jacobs had filed his application first. And Ohio State's application was actually kind of put on hold. A suspension notice was issued so that theirs couldn't go forward until they worked things out with Marc Jacobs, which they did in, I believe, August of last year. They came to an agreement whereby Ohio State could use the mark on clothing associated with sports and college athletics. Marc Jacobs was allowed to use the name in association with clothing for fashion wear, things of that nature. So they came to an agreement, mutual understanding that that's where the dividing line was, even though they were both related to clothing. So if the parties agree to that, that can be done. So another issue that Ohio State faced in getting this registration through was whether or not their use actually was trademark use or whether it was ornamental use. So the initial specimen that they submitted for the registration had the word "the" in big letters on the front of a shirt. And we've got a photograph here that we're going to show you of that original specimen. That original specimen was rejected because it was not trademark use, it was ornamental use. And again, trademark use is something that shows or that denotes the origin of the product itself. And ornamental use is exactly that. It's something that just conveys a message or is used in some way other than to convey the source of the product or service. Interestingly enough, the original specimen that they submitted, not only did it have the word "the" in big letters across the front of the shirt, it had the Nike swoosh symbol also on the front of the shirt, which indicates that the source of the shirt was Nike, not the Ohio State University. What they did in pivoting is they submitted a second specimen later on, which we'll show a photograph of here, that shows the mark used on the inside of the shirt where a tag would ordinarily be. And that's where typically, you're going to have something that indicates the source of the product when it's t-shirts. So that was submitted, that was approved, and the mark sailed on through to registration. So now the Ohio State University can claim trademark rights to the word "the." How they plan to use that, I don't know. How they plan to enforce that is somewhat uncertain, but it is what it is, and it is a registered mark, and they've gotten quite a bit of publicity out of it. So it's worth something there, obviously. If you have some more questions, we're going to post a blog about this as well. That's going to kind of go into a little more detail as to some of the things we've talked about and how they were able to obtain this mark. So please feel free to click on the link below, go to our blog post site and check it out. And if you have a brand that you want to protect, come see us. We can help you do that. Thanks. Have a great weekend.